At 1. We're eating too much, wasting too much food and relying too much on animal products. Scientists warn today that vegetarianism could become less of a lifestyle choice and more of a necessity, as the world won't be capable of supplying meat products at today's levels within 40 years. Professor Jan Lundqvist from the Stockholm International Water Institute told me before we came on air how our diets have changed in recent times.
We can see a trend in all over the world, more or less, that as people become more wealthy, as we have more disposable income, more money in our pockets, so to speak, and also in combination with the growing number of people living in urban areas, the preferences for new or changes in diets are becoming quite evident. So we see there's a clear trend in an increasing demand for animal food items like meat products and of course other animal products. And of course that is, from a nutritional point of view, that is you can motivate that, but it also has an implication on the resources for where these products are being cultivated or grown. So just as an example, to produce 1,000 kilocalorie of grain food as compared to producing the same amount in kilocalories in animal food, we require about maybe up to 10 times more water to produce animal food items.
So what will happen then, in your view, if we don't adapt our diets?
We must, I think, acknowledge, or we cannot stop the changes in preferences among people. But I think what is very disturbing in my view is that quite a large part of the food that the people are buying and that they get access to is not eaten, or it's thrown away. And if we look from what I call from field to fork, if you compare the amount of food that is produced in the world as compared to the amount of food that we eat or which is beneficially used, between 1/3 and up to half of the food is lost and wasted. Not so many people, I think, are aware of the fact that in the world today we have many, many more people who are overeating and become overweight and obese as compared to the number of people who are suffering from undernourishment. So we have what we call the double burden of food insecurity. On the one hand, we have about 900 million or so who are food insecure, who don't have enough, who don't have access to enough of food. But then we have about 1.5 billion of people who are overeating and then become affected in terms of overweight and obesity, and with all the health implications. But also there's also then the resource implication, because if you have that type of diet and also throw away part of the food that you're buying, then you're also contributing to an increasing pressure on scarce global natural resources.
So what are you asking people to do? What are you advising people to do, both as individuals and perhaps governments and policymakers?
I think we have to be aware of the fact that we are living on a planet. I mean, today we are about 7 billion people, and within a generation, I mean, within 2050 or so, there will be another 2 billion people seated around the table, and we all need water, we all need food, we all need energy, and there's a close connection between these the natural resources. So I think there must be a responsibility and awareness that we have to make sure that we, in the first hand, of course, produce the goods and services that we need. Food is one of the most important of all. That we produce with a high degree of efficiency. We talk about more crop per drop. But the other thing is that we have to make sure that the supply chain, the distribution of food from the producer, from the farmer, and especially the small farmers and throughout the world, into the market and into the consumers, increasing number of people living in urban areas, that system is more efficient than it is today.
That was Professor Jan Lundqvist from the Stockholm International Water Institute.